Good afternoon, guys. Omar with you again with another video about NEBOSH IG2, which is mainly about risk assessment. In this video, we are going to talk about the guidelines from NEBOSH for writing risk assessment, what you need to consider, and how to write a quality risk assessment so you can pass IG2 in first attempt. So I am going to share with you the NEBOSH guidelines first of all. These guidelines are from NEBOSH. You can find these on their website under the IGC resources section. Guidelines mainly contain how and what NEBOSH is expecting from you in order to write a quality risk assessment, which is IG2. So first of all, there are 4 sections or 4 parts in IG2 risk assessment. The first part is about description of the location, what is happening in that location, what are the types of activities, how many people, and we are going to discuss in bit more detail later. The second part is risk assessment itself, which is about identifying hazards and controls and all. Then the third one is prioritizing the top most 3 actions and with the justification, why those 3 actions, and then finally review, communicate, and check whether your risk assessment is effective or not, or is implemented or not. So the part 1 is about stages of risk assessment, or basically it is about selection of workplace or selection of a project or selection of a company where you are going to do a risk assessment. First of all, you should, it is most important that you should select your own workplace where you are working so that it can help you to demonstrate knowledge and it can help your organization as you are doing a physical risk assessment for them. So there are certain requirements for the part 1, which is about description of the organization and methodology used. So the requirements, first of all, you must write the organization of name. If it is confidential, you can give like any name or a false name, but everything else should be on a factual base. Then the location where it is located, in which country or in which area, and how many workers are employed by the organization. Then a general description, like what that organization is doing. It is construction site, it is manufacturing company, it is warehouse, it is school, university, facilities management. So what kind of the organization you selected, you need to give a description. We are going to discuss later how the description should be given and how many word count is required for that. And then the methodology used for the risk assessment, from where you took the knowledge, from where you referred, from where you consulted, which people were involved, where you communicated, and this kind of stuff, as we can say, like the methodology is used. Like you used company procedure, you used HSE guidelines, you use, let's say, any other international guidelines for risk assessment, that you need to mention in your first part. So here you can see a like general description of any workplace. This is just a sample. You need to write based on your scenario or based on your selected organization or project or site. And then you need to give justification, or you need to give the methodology used, the source of information you consulted, who you spoke to, what people you consulted, and how the hazards and controls were identified. Like the method or the risk assessment procedure which you utilize to write this risk assessment. The second part is about risk assessment itself. You need to identify at least 10 different hazards from 5 different hazard categories. So in IG2 book, if you see, we have element 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So these elements, from these all elements, you need to identify at least 10 hazards. but it is good practice that you should identify like 12 to 13 hazards minimum, but 10 are minimum to pass IG 1 section risk assessment. And remember that if you identify 11 hazards, but from 4 categories, you will not pass. If you identify 9 hazards from 6 categories, you will not pass. So at least 10 hazards from at least 5 hazard categories. For example, hazardous substances, at least 1 or 2 different hazards, fire, electricity, based on your workplace or based on your situation involved, but at least you need to consider 5 hazard categories. So they have given you a format from NIBOSH. I'm going to show format later on. Format looks like this. There are 6 columns. The first column is hazard category and hazard. You must write hazard category at top and then what is the hazard. If you don't write hazard category, you will be referred, you will not be passed. Then who might be harmed and how? The people who may get affected or who may get harmed by this hazard, and how, like what is scale of injury or how the injury can be caused. Then existing control, what you are doing already in workplace, and then what further controls are required. For each control, you need to give time scale for the implementation or for the action to be completed. For example, here they wrote purchase a mobile bridge to allow machines to be able to safely access both sides. So he has given 2 months as a time scale, and who is responsible for each item. So he has given workshop and store manager is responsible for all actions. But if in case there are different people responsible for different actions, you must write them separately. Like for action number 1, responsible is, let's say, project manager. Action number 2, responsible is finance manager. So means you need to be specified for each action separately. The third one is prioritizing 3 top most actions which should be completed, which are more like the priority level of those actions is high. So you need to select at least three actions. So if you select 4 or 5, NIBOSH is not going to mark 4th and 5th. You need to identify or select only 3 actions with justification. So justification, you need to give arguments for moral, legal, and financial arguments. Why this action with reference to moral reasons, legal reasons, and financial or economic reasons. And then you also need to check the effectiveness of each control, that how likely how likely to be in controlling the risk. You should describe the impact on each action, the intended impact, and the justification for time scale completion for each action, and whether you think the action will be fully control the risk or no. In simple, you need to identify the likelihood and severity, taking into action the current control measures. The 4th part is about review, communication, and check. In 4th table or 4th part of risk assessment template, you must write when the risk assessment will be reviewed, and it should be realistic date. You cannot say it will be reviewed after 10 years. So usually what happens that you will mention in your first part or your description that risk assessments are being reviewed annually. And if later on in the end you say that this risk assessment will be reviewed quarterly, you will not pass. You must justify that both, if you write at 2 different locations, it should be completely same. If you're saying that risk assessment will be reviewed quarterly, it means that risk assessment should be reviewed. In the end, you should write that it is going to be reviewed quarterly. And how you are going to communicate this risk assessments, what method you are going to utilize for communicating, and finally, how you are going to check the effectiveness or the implementation. On another note, just to let you know that NIBOSH has recommended like 3 hours to complete this risk assessment, but you can go more or less, not an issue. And when you choose a workplace, you can discuss with your tutor or your trainer that this is the workplace to just to get a guidance. Either you can identify 10 hazards easily or no, or the methodology you are using, or such kind of things. But you cannot share and you should not share the draft or your written work for the review or pre-marking to a tutor, which is against policy of NIBOSH. You will get two type of forms. One is electronic and one is handwritten forms. You are free to use any. I guess I recommend like electronic form because it will look more organized and clear. And you must submit all parts of risk assessment in order to get the pass result. And marking criteria, there will be no marking. It is not like you should get 45% like IG1 or something, but it is just pass or refer. There is a checklist which I am going to show you next, and you can check that each item has passed or not. So NIBOSH is going to check if you meet on each item or not. If you do a very good quality risk assessment and you have not written the number of people in that project, you are not going to pass. If you have not written the review time or the review method or review period, you will not pass. So every single checklist item should be cleared in your quality risk assessment. Then only you will pass easily. So here you can get the marking criteria. Part 1, as I told you, descriptions. You need to write name of location, a name of organization or project, the location, how many workers are employed, a general description of the organization, what they do, if they're manufacturer or if they're service provider or construction, or what kind of activities they are doing. And then a description of the area to be included in risk assessment. Maybe you have a group of companies, you have a big project, but you are just going to cover a, let's say, painting area, or you are going to cover just production area, you are going to cover just receiving area. So therefore, you should write specifically like which area you are going to cover this risk assessment. Methodology must include a minimum source of information you consulted, international guidelines, your local procedures or your company procedures, and who you consulted with, the employees you consulted with, or anybody you involved in the risk assessment, and decided and how the learner, how you decided on the additional control measures, like based on what was your approach. And mainly it is written in guidelines also that you should have a hierarchy of control approach, elimination, substitution, engineering, administrative, and PPE in the end. Then, as I told you, the risk assessment, minimum 10 hazards from 5 different categories. There are 6 columns. You need to fill each column. And then prioritizing 3 actions. 3 actions only, as I told you. If you write more than 3 actions, there will be no marking on any action after third. And you need to give justification for moral, legal, and financial reasons. And you need to consider the likelihood and severity of each actions for the same hazard category. And finally, for section number 3, you need to give description of how effective each action is likely to be controlling the risk. Means after implementing your risk, after implementing your controls, how effectively the risk will be controlled. The 4th part is review, communicate, and check again. You must give a realistic date, a review date of risk assessment, and say why we have chosen this date. And you must indicate whom you will communicate and how you will communicate the information. And finally, the learner must indicate how they will follow up on risk assessment and check whether the actions you recommended or advised are implemented or carried out or no. So now we are going to see the checklist. which is here. So now we are going to check checklist. This is the checklist. It is also available as resources from NIBOSH website. You can access it under NIBOSH IG qualification under resources section. So here is the simple checklist. It will help you to cover everything. So description of the organization, the part 1, if you have written the name of organization, just tick it, location, number of workers, general descriptions of the workplace, production, services, type of activities, and shift pattern. Description of the work area included in the risk assessment about which area exactly you're going to assess, or which part of the organization or which part of the project, and methodology used again. So this checklist can help you to complete your risk assessment effectively and to complete a quality risk assessment. Remember, if you miss single of this item, NIBOSH will refer you and you will not pass IG2. So here is a simple risk assessment, again given by NIBOSH on their website. There you go. So if you see here, this is the template you will be getting to write your risk assessment. You need to write learner number and your name, learner name. And then here is the description of organization. You must write 150 to 200 words approximately. So organization name and how many employees employed. Then a general description of the organization. Then you see 7 hours per day, the shift pattern. And then the assessment will cover what area, the coverage of assessment. And then within approximately 200 words, you need to give brief outline on how you completed risk assessment. For example, here they have given reference to HSC website, HSC 261. You can give the reference of same or any other document you are using, company procedures or anything. And which people you consulted with. If you see here, there is a small paragraph about consultation or where you went, visited. And here, what else data you consulted or checked. Here you see in the sample, they have given that incident book was checked for past 12 months. And when assessing the controls and guidance, they have referred to HSC website again, EH44, which is guidance note 4th edition for dust in the workplace. So what it is about the resources you used for the controls. If you are having a risk assessment, you identified hazard, work at height. It means that you can refer back to your procedure, that how you are managing work at height. You can refer back to any guidelines about work at height with reference to your controls. The controls you are actually writing in additional controls. Here, if you see, if you are worried about confidentiality, you can invent a false name and location of your organization, but all other information should be factual. So you can write a false name of the company, of the project, but still you need to write all other information factual, no false information. So here is part 2 of risk assessment, 6 columns. The hazard, you must write hazard category here on the top, and then type of hazard. Then who might be harmed and how, the people who may get harmed, and the type of or the level of harm they will get or how they will get the harm. Then existing controls, what you are doing in place already, and then additional controls. If you see in front of each additional control, they have written the time scale, 6 months, 1 month, 1 month to be assessed on the completion of enclosure. So, and then again, responsible person for job role. Workshop manager is responsible for action 1, 3A, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 in this risk assessment. Finance director is responsible for this. Store manager is responsible for this. So this is how you will write, you will identify at least 10 hazards from 5 different categories. If you see each hazard having category and hazard, category and hazard. So this is section 3 or part 3 of the risk assessment, prioritizing 3 actions. You need to give arguments for financial, moral, and legal reason between approximately 500 to 700 words. You need to give the likelihood and the severity of injury or ill health from those actions, at least 100 to 250 words, 150 to 250 words. And then description of how each action effectively controlled, at least 250 to 350 words. So if you see in the sample, they prioritize 3 actions. Then they have given the justification for moral, legal, and economic reasons. And then the likelihood and severity for each action, 1, 2, 3, and controlling the risk. So after action plan implemented, how the risk level will be controlled and what will be the level of risk post control. Part 4, smaller and easier part, review. If you see, the risk assessment will be reviewed 12 months. Therefore, the company policy of review risk assessment is 12 months. Therefore, the risk assessment will be reviewed on 23rd July 2020, for example. Then how you need to indicate how you will be communicated, including who need to be informed. So you can say that like your risk assessment should be communicated like internally with the management, external with the contractors or the people involved, and what methods you are using to communicate that risk assessment to stakeholders or the concern. Then finally, last part, 100 to 150 words, you must now indicate how you will follow up on the risk assessment to check the actions have been carried out or no. So based on your procedure, based on your system, you can write how you are going to follow up. You are going to meet with someone, you are going to do inspections, you are going to audit your system, or any actions you're going to use for checking the effectiveness or implementation of actions. You need to identify here, or you need to indicate within 100 to 150 words. So this is end of your risk assessment. After that, you need to follow guidelines about the submission by NIBOSH, and there is a general guideline that you must submit your risk assessment in PDF format. And that's it from my side. If you have any further question, you can reach me. My contact number is in description of this video. You can chat with me on WhatsApp, and I wish you best of luck for your coming exam or your coming assignment. And I hope my video will somehow assist you how to write a quality risk assessment for NIBOSH IG2. Thanks again for watching, and if you like my video, don't forget to subscribe my channel for upcoming videos, and thank you again.